Hi gamers. Real quick, if you watch this channel regularly and you're confused at what the fuck this is, the Pavlov video is coming. I have all the footage I need and the script is like half done. I've been doing this thing where I've been going outside a lot lately and like interacting with other people, and it's been really cool. But yeah, that video will come out eventually. I'll just work on it when I feel like it because you aren't the boss of me. So anyway, some person on Twitter, some very kind person, messaged me and was like, hey, I love your eyeliner, I'd love to know how you do it, could you do a tutorial? So I did a poll to my oomfs, love my oomfs, and a lot of people wanted to see an actual makeup tutorial, so that's what this is, for mainly trans people, I guess? I don't know, I mean you can use it if you're not trans, but this is a T for T makeup tutorial. So before the actual tutorial, I would say that two things that will help a lot with refining your look is having a good skincare routine. I honestly don't do much, I just use fucking whatever cleanser I have in the house at the time, and moisturize afterwards, and I'll exfoliate like once every few days with some fucking whatever bullshit I have like available at any one time. What I'm saying is take care of your skin and you will, you will thank yourself. Secondly, I would suggest shaving your eyebrows. It's not something that I'm gonna really talk about today, but I have like a cute little eyebrow slit and I try and shave them regularly, and it does a lot. It helps shape your face more, and yeah, no, I would highly recommend it. So as far as step one of the tutorial, step one is actually going to be to take your estrogen, because I forgot before filming. Now, I take 12.5 milligrams of cyproterone acetate a day. And because that's such a shitty number, it means I have to use like this pill cutter, and it never cuts things like perfectly in half. It always kind of just fucking... If you don't take pill estrogen, that's fine. You can do injections or patches or whatever works for you. But you do need to take some form of estrogen before this tutorial, otherwise it won't work. And if you naturally produce estrogen, give me some, please. So I'm going to let mine dissolve under my tongue while I do the tutorial. That might sound a little weird, but you're just going to have to deal with that. Okay, enough stalling. It's makeup time. Hi gamers. One thing I forgot to mention is all the products I'll be using in this video, so I'm doing that at the end when I'm all done with this. So the main things I use, and I know it's typically in makeup tutorials, people will tell you like the exact make and brand of stuff and recommend that. Whilst I do often show the exact product I'm using, honestly, anything can work. I know like a lot of reviewers will be like, oh no, you have to use the NYX Celebration Foundation fucking Serve Pussy No. 5 foundation, but you don't have to. If you just buy what you can afford, buy what you find, and whilst you want to make sure you get the right like tones and colors for stuff, it's not necessary that you have to get the most expensive, amazing stuff. Just like use whatever you can find. It's whatever. Makeup's about experimenting and finding what works for you. Anyway, go back to the other person. Now you always want to start with a primer. I really like this primer, the Revolution Pore Blur, but there's not much left, and honestly I don't want to waste on this, so instead I'm going to use this piece of shit primer that I hate. It's like not the worst, it's super cheap on Amazon, you can get it for like £3. But obviously for £3, it's not the best, but like, I don't know, I don't really care how cheap makeup products are, because there is a slight difference, but you basically, they all work. So you just want to spread that onto your face. A lot of people just put primer like on the heavy areas, like where they're going to put a lot of makeup, but I get super nervous about my skin and all that shit, so I like to basically put it fucking everywhere. And for any guys or girls or thems who know a lot about makeup who are going to critique my methods, send those critiques to my Twitter DMs. There's a $5 fee, but that's the only place where I will read any critique of myself ever, so that's the price you're going to have to pay for that. So once you put your primer on, I go straight to concealer. Sometimes if I'm doing foundation, like a liquid foundation, which I won't be doing today, this is the one that I use mainly. It doesn't really matter what foundation you use. I guess the more expensive, the less cakey it might be, but I don't fucking know. If I do foundation, I'll do that first, but I'm only going to do like a light powder foundation for this tutorial, so we'll ignore that and we'll start with concealer. So I use this e.l.f. concealer. e.l.f. stuff is often like way too cheap sometimes for me, like it feels really bad. But their concealer, this one specifically, I don't know what it's called, Camo Concealer, that's fucking badass. This one's been like really good for me, so I would recommend it. I just put a little bit under, sort of in the corners of my eyes. Not too much, you don't want to like make it too fucking crazy. And I just take a brush and I move it sort of either down into the eye and then under the eye. You just want to spread it out until it's somewhat blended with your like natural color or whatever. It can look a little weird at first, but once it's blended enough and once you have like a bit of powder foundation or something added, it will look fine. I used to do a little bit of concealer like under sort of this stash area under my nose, but I stopped doing that recently because I found just like some orangey eyeshadow works better for concealing that. So that might work for you, it's something to try out, but yeah, for me, I've stopped doing that. I do put a little bit down here though, not much, just like, it's because I have quite like a jutting chin, so it helps conceal it a little bit. It's hard to look like cute and normal when you're doing this. You have to put all sorts of faces and shit. Okay, and then finally for my concealer, I put a little bit on the bridge of my nose, and then you sort of have a bit spreading out up here. So try to keep that on the bridge of your nose and spread it out. And then with this, you sort of want to move it above your eyebrows, but sort of up onto your forehead. It helps hide. If your forehead like juts out a bit like mine, it can help hide that a little. Okay, now that you've done that, I'm going to move on to foundation. And I use this foundation. I forget what it actually is, because it's kind of faded. I'll figure out what this is and put it on screen or whatever. But I don't have much left, as you can see, so I kind of just do like a Jessie Pinkman-ass, like I'm breaking up meth and break up the sides a little bit. And then I take my foundation brush and try and, you know, get some of that. Again, if you get mad at my technique, suck a dick, I don't care. So once you have that, you just basically, I put it basically everywhere. I try and focus it onto the center of my face, as opposed to the sides. I don't know why. I think I just saw it in a tutorial once and I kind of just fucking parroted it for no reason. That's like half of makeup, is just seeing stuff from other people and doing it without really knowing what it does, and eventually you find stuff that sticks. But the reason I like powder foundation is because liquid foundation, you can risk having like way too much and end up looking like, I don't know, I don't want to shit on other people's makeup styles because it's whatever, but like that heavy makeup style, which, you know, I don't really like. So this is a lot more like subtle, which, you know, I just enjoy more. I think it looks way better when you have some of your natural skin popping out. Okay, now that that's done, you can see I'm a bit more pale. I don't know, it's not really showing up too much on camera. Maybe it is, I don't know. But now that that's done, we move on to contour. Now, because I'm a broke ass bitch, I don't actually have any contour left. Yeah, I have like tiny little crumbs in the corner, but that's fine. What I do instead is I have this eyeshadow palette with some sort of similar contour colors, and they don't work as well as like actual contour, but like they work. Like it'll be fine for this purpose. So I take my contour brush, get some of that, and for contour, it really depends on your face shape. If your face is like sort of long like mine, and you can sort of parrot what I do, but it honestly just depends on what your face shape is. For me, I sort of try and get like a curved line from just above my lip area, like not there, but like there on the cheek, just above the lip area, and then sort of curve it up my cheek, so it's not great, but you sort of see what I mean. You want that like curve going up sort of towards the top of your ear, down there. I think the sort of like better the curve, the better it will be. You don't want it to be like chiseled. And then you just blend that out. So again, it doesn't work as well as normal contour, but like, it's fine. Then just do the same on the other side. Okay, that one turned out a bit better, I think. Okay, then next spots for contour. This, again, won't be for everyone. It depends on your face shape. But if you have a bit of more of like a wedge or like that, I don't know if you can see that on camera. I like to do sort of from the bottom of my ear down like that. Just to give it a bit more of a curve that makes it look a little less masculine. Which is what we all want, girlies, don't we? And again, same on the other side. I honestly should have waited until I got actual contour again to do this tutorial, but I'm lazy and I'm broke, so deal with it. Now it's nose contour. I sort of do, you want to go to sort of where the edge of your eyebrow is, down sort of the side of your nose. You don't want to be on the bridge of your nose because that will look silly. So make sure you keep it on this side of your nose. And you want to be fairly light. You don't want it to be too strong because, again, it will look silly. And now just blend it out again, trying to avoid touching the bridge of your nose. Keep it like all on the side. You can just like do what I do and put a finger there. Try and avoid it. Okay, that's fine. It's not the best, but it's fine. And it doesn't have to be the best, it just has to work. Now again, this depends on your hairstyle, but I know some people like to do contour sort of on this part of their forehead, like where, I'm not gonna show it, fuck revealing that. Like sort of there to there, but if you're like me and you have hair that covers it, it doesn't really matter that much, so take that as you will. Next, I'm going to do what I mentioned earlier and cover up this sort of area. Now you sort of want an orangey color. I really like this one right here, but it's kind of hard to see how much is left. You sort of want it to be a slightly bit more orange or dark than like what your actual skin is. So it like counteracts the sort of stash area. You could also like pay for laser and stuff, but if you have that kind of money, you're on the list, you're going against the wall. That's a joke, yeah, that's not actually happening. So you don't want to put too much down because that'll be silly. I kind of just go for it, and then whatever's like excess, I just try and blend out. Okay, so it doesn't do much, but like when you have the rest of your makeup on, it does like hide it a little bit more. And it works for me, you know, it's whatever. I don't care too much about it, but as long as it's like hidden a little bit, then it's fine. Okay, and sometimes I don't do this next step, so it's not necessary, but I do like to do it if I want to really make sure that contour shines, and because I've used the kind of cheap shit, I'm going to do it. But I like to get some bronzer, whatever sort of bronzer you have. I use like a powder one. I like to put it above my contour line. Some people will get mad at me for that because you're technically supposed to put it a little higher, I think, but like I said, suck a dick. So because I did my contour like there, I sort of do it a bit like that, maybe a little bit higher. That was maybe a bit too low, but I do that on both sides. It sort of just adds to that. It sort of just helps shape your face a bit more, in my opinion. I know that's not really what bronzer's for, but you can just use makeup however you want, it doesn't fucking matter. People that gatekeep are cringe. And then you just blend that in. I'm worried that the makeup girls are gonna watch this in the same way that the tech dudes watched that fucking Verge like PC building tutorial. Again, this is just the shit that works for me, and people wanted to know. I gotta give the people what they want. So once you've done that, it's onto the blush, and the blush is maybe my favorite part of the whole look because it's so silly and sun-kissed and cute. I use this Revolution palette. I don't know how like easy it is to get now because I think it's maybe not being sold as much, but as long as you have the basic like red eyeshadow colors, it's fine. So the main colors I use is this deeper red and this slightly glittery one, and then this super sort of pinky red. But the main one I'm going to start with is this. I take a little bit on my brush and I sort of do it under the eye. I don't know, I don't really know how to explain like how or why I put it where I put it, but I just kind of do it like I start there and I spread it sort of to the middle of my face onto my nose and continue down to the other side of my face. I guess you could say it's sort of it sort of flicks on the sides in the middle. I don't know how I would describe it, but I do that, and then I'll do a bit of the sparkly one just on the cheeks because it's cute. Just add it wherever it will fucking fit. And then finally, and this part I think works really well when you have your eye makeup done, is take the more pink color, not too much of it, and put it basically just under your eyes where the eyeliner is going to be, sort of in that kind of area. It sort of adds to it a little. And obviously it looks insanely silly now, so you're going to want to blend that out. Once it's blended out a little bit, it looks kind of faded. I don't know, I'm going to add a little bit more just touches to it. Sometimes if I wanted extra touches, I'll add like sort of more pinky colours and just sort of touch it up a little, maybe spread it out a bit. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look great, but I'm happy with it for now. Again, for a lot of like the look that I do, eye makeup is kind of 90% of it. It all looks a little silly until you've done the eye makeup. And I'm being told my PC is running out of space. I love that. Okay, that should be good. I had to restart my recording again. Sorry about that. So yeah, once the blush is done, I move on to the eyebrows. And I use this NYX Power Professional eyebrow pencil. And like, there's not much to say. I already shaped my eyebrows, so I kind of just do the existing shape and just color it in a little bit. Which I'd really recommend doing. I think shaping your eyebrows can be really good for your face. It can be hard to like figure out and it's scary, but you know, it's whatever. So once I've colored them in, I just brush them a little bit too. I don't know if it's blended out at all, but just, I don't know. Again, I think I saw someone do this when I was first learning my eyebrows, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm doing that forever now. And another thing I do with a separate eyebrow pencil, I don't know why I use separate ones, and I think this one just works better, is I like to add freckles on my face. Now, there are, like, things that exist specifically to put freckles on your face. You're not really supposed to use an eyebrow pencil, but it mostly works for me, and I'm too broke to get a fucking freckle pen or whatever, so I just do this, and I just add random freckles all over, sometimes just light taps, sometimes more heavier, sort of swirly taps. If they look silly when you do them, because they have looked very silly in the past when I've done them, just try and, like, they're very easy to blend out. Like, even with setting spray, after like a few hours, they'll just like disappear anyway. But you know, it's for fun. Enjoy a bit more. Okay, and after that step, that is when I use setting spray. So if you, I know some people use setting powder. I've never actually used it myself, but if that works for you and that works for you, I just use this cute Studio London one that smells like ice cream. It's cute and it works for me, so. You just spray some of that on you and let it dry. If you have like a fan or something, you can stand in front of that, or you can just flap your hands like this and be very embarrassed if you're on call with people and they start mimicking you, which isn't something that has happened to me before. Okay, so now on to my favorite part, the eyeliner. And this is what I think mainly people on Twitter wanted to see. I mainly followed this tutorial. I'm going to put it on screen here, I guess, to sort of learn this kind of eyeliner. But it isn't the exact same. I've like changed it a little bit. But I think she's much better at explaining the technique than I will be. So if you want a really good eyeliner, my friend Julie, when I first transitioned, recommended me Stiller All Day Black Eyeliner. And it is amazing, but it is kind of expensive. So if you can afford that, definitely get that, but if not, any sort of liquid black eyeliner should do. I, at the moment, am mainly using this. It's the Rimmel London Scandalise eyeliner. Again, most things will work fine. You don't need to get the exact fucking brand that your like YouTubers are getting. You can just do whatever. So I'll try and be kind of close to show you. The first thing I do is I start at the bottom of the eye, sort of where, if you see, I don't know if you can see on camera, where my eyelashes end, kind of there. I just start there, and I sort of just go out in a slightly elevated line. I'll sort of show you. You don't want to go too far, if you can see here. Okay, that's really not perfect, that's really fucking rough, but... Okay, that's really not that great, but it's fine. I sort of go to where the eye is, to where the middle of the eye is there, and sort of reach that point. I try and reach it to sort of where the end of the eyebrow is, but that's not really gone that well. But it's fine. You can, these things can work. You just, you know, you improvise. And then I sort of do a similar line going back towards the eye. So yeah, kind of like that. And once you reach the point where you're sort of getting into the folds of your eye. I don't know if that's what they're called. I stop there and I go to the top of my eye at the middle here and do sort of a horizontal line out. And you don't want to connect them fully, but then I close my eyes and you see how it kind of curves a little bit. You want to join those two as your eyes are closed, so a bit like that. And then you have your, I don't know, eyeliner outline. Again, that's fucking really rough. I'm so sorry, but it'll be fine. Like, people stress too much about eye makeup. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, fucking nobody notices the difference between like 10 out of 10 perfect eye makeup and like 7, 6 out of 10 okay eye makeup. Like, it's fine in practice. So then you just want to fill that in with whatever. Okay, and now this is the hardest part of everything to do with eyeliner. Now you need to do it on your other eye and try and get it basically the exact same. And getting them the same is maybe the most frustrating shit, because you'll do it, you'll try really hard, and then you'll look in the mirror and they look different, and you'll want to do like fucking do a funny gamer moment off the Empire State, but that's fine. I know it's not really like the nicest or best advice, but it is true. Practice just makes perfect. And again, they don't need to be exact. Most people will not notice. We're all our own worst critics or whatever. But yeah, just try and do the same on the other eye. Okay, I'm not sure if that's perfect or yeah, you can't really tell until you fill it in, which again sucks, because if you really fuck it up, then you have to then wipe it all out, and that can mess up some other parts of your makeup. Okay, so yeah, it's not perfect. I think it's a bit smaller than the other one, but like, it'll do, it's fine. So once you've done that outer eyeliner, this is where my tutorial differs from the other one I was recommending. I like to do an inner eyeliner wing too, sort of thing. I don't know if it's called a wing, but the inner eyeliner bit can be really hard to do, but honestly, just keep trying and it's fine. So the first thing I do is I try and sort of go right to the corner of the eye, a bit far out. I'll try and angle it like that and do just a straight line going from like that point to that point? I don't know. Yeah. So let's do a straight line there. Yeah, like that's fine, it's whatever. And then I do a horizontal line going up sort of towards the center of my eye. Not horizontal, sorry, like 45-degree angle, sorry. And you want to fill in the areas you're not getting, like on the inner of your eye. And like, yeah, that's not perfect, but it's fine. It'll do. And some people don't go any further than that. They don't fill it in. They like let it sort of go in here and come out here. But I like the full going all the way around look. So I try and do a very thin line, but yeah, I connect them like that. And then try and do the exact same on the other eye again. Okay, so that one did not go as well as the other eye, but it's fine. I can touch it up a little bit. Okay, like yeah, it's fine. Like, that's not perfect at all when you look at it. It's kind of fucky. I will clean that up just a teeny tiny bit. And then what you're gonna want to do is get sort of any black eyeliner that will work on the inner sort of waterline area of your eye. I have this amazing one that one of my friends gave me. Where is it? I use this one. It's really, really good. Why won't it focus? I'll just put it on screen. It's the Barry M Bold Waterproof Eyeliner. It's so good for the waterline. Like, it's insane. Like, I will never use anything that's not this anymore. So you want to just sort of ride your waterline with this and give it one of these. You want to be kind of gentle because, again, this is like so strong and good, but you don't want to put too much on. And same with the other eye. Okay, so once you've done that, you can kind of leave it at that if you want, but I like to do some finishing touches. I like to get like a cotton bud, and you can, if you have a black eyeshadow, that's perfect for this kind of thing, but I don't, so I would just say use the darkest eyeshadow you have, get some on your cotton bud, and sort of blend it out under your eye. And it sort of gives your eyes that sort of I don't know. I don't know what it gives them. It gives cunt. It gives pussy. Okay. Okay. So that's your eyeliner done, but it's not your eye makeup done. Now I'm going to move on to mascara, which again does a lot. I don't think there's any makeup look that doesn't involve mascara because it just, you know, it can be great. I use this funny little tool to sort of comb my eyelashes a little bit before. It also helps if you have any like leftover mascara from the day before. It helps get rid of that if you're like me and you don't wash your face off correctly. So I then use a eyelash curler. Nothing special about my one or anything, just use fucking whatever one you can get. And I curl my eyelashes. I'm not really going to talk much about how to do that. It's sort of just like a you learn with time kind of thing. Once those are curled, I use my mascara. This is like probably the most popular mascara ever that I always see it. But it's just the basic Maybelline Lash Sensational one. It's just really good. You know, there's a reason it's kind of popular. And I sort of like to wiggle it up the eyelashes to make sure it's getting on every bit of it and not just the base. That can make it sort of show up on your eyelid like you can see now, but you can just clean that up afterwards, which I'll show. And also don't neglect doing the bottom eyelashes too, especially for this kind of look. It's sort of essential. Okay, now just clean it up a little bit. And there you go, and I'll just do it on the other eye too. And if you do what I did and get some mascara on your face, it's fine. You don't need to panic. You don't need to freak out and think you're going to have to redo this entire thing. It's fine. You can just get a cotton bud and hope it doesn't take away any other pieces of your makeup. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, and that's your eye makeup done for this look. I know some people like to do eyeshadow a lot of every look, but honestly, with this one, I just kind of leave it. If I do eyeshadow with this, I'll either do like a dark sort of cunty purple, or I'll do like sort of just a simple sort of brighter goldy colour, like one of these sort of ones. But now it's on to lip makeup. For my lip makeup, I first off use some fucking chapstick or something. My main lipstick, which I love, is this NYX Lingerie colour. I don't know what colour it is, like what the fucking, it doesn't actually say. Yeah, just this colour. It's like red, but it's not like too red, you know. So there's no real like method of how I do my lipstick. I don't know, I just kind of shape it how you do. I don't know, I'm not really that great at lipstick, to be honest. And if you mess up your lipstick, don't like panic too much, because it's gonna wear off in like an hour or two anyway, and you can just do it again. It's fine. I'm gonna change it a tiny bit actually. Okay, and once I've done my lipstick, I like to do some clear lip gloss, which I know makes some people mad because it sort of slowly makes your lip gloss not very clear, but it's fine because it looks really cute and nice. Like that, like look at that. And that is basically the look done. I'm just gonna go brush my hair for the final bit. Okay, so that's that. That's the basic, like, that's my basic makeup tutorial. I don't do this sort of eyeliner every day. I'm trying to get good lighting because the lighting in this whole setup is so shit. But I promise this looks good. It looks like decent in person, it's fine. Please trust me. If I'm doing something, if I'm being more like casual, I won't do all the inner black eyeliner stuff and I'll just do the outer wing and then like some white waterline eyeliner sort of stuff. I don't know, it's fine. It's whatever works for you. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this was okay. I don't do this type of video often at all, obviously, but yeah, I hope this brought some clarity or enjoyment or ASMR or some other bullshit, I don't know. Please comment to let me know how good I did and how proud you are of me, and I will catch you all in the next not makeup tutorial. Bye!